Have you ever wondered what kind of childhood breeds a billionaire like Warren Buffett? In the heartland of America, Omaha, Nebraska, the tale begins. Born into the family of a stockbroker turned congressman, Warren Edward Buffett was no stranger to the world of finance. But it was his own innate curiosity and entrepreneurial spirit that would set him apart. As a young boy, Buffett was already showcasing the signs of a savvy businessman.
I like numbers. Started before I can remember. It just felt good working with numbers. I was always playing around with numbers in one way or another, and it was fun to have a bunch of guys over and have them betting on which marble would reach the drain first. I had a lot of energy as a kid. I was inquisitive, and I was the youngest one always in the class because I'd skip. I've always been competitive. I like to read more than most kids. I really like to read a lot. My Aunt Edie gave me a copy of the World Almanac, and that was heaven to me. And I can still tell you that the almost population was 214,006 in 1930. Some numbers just kind of stick with you. And very early, probably when I was 7 or so, I took this book out of the Benson Library called 1,000 Ways to Make $1,000. And one of the ways in this book was having penny weighing machines. And I sat and calculated how much it would cost to buy the first weighing machine and then how long it would take for the profit for that one to buy another one. And I would sit there and create these compound interest tables to figure out how long it would take me to have a weighing machine for every person in the world. I had everybody in the country weighing themselves.
When other children were playing catch or riding bikes, Buffett was selling chewing gum and magazines door to door. He was not just a kid making a few extra pennies, he was a budding entrepreneur, learning the art of negotiation, understanding the value of goods, and most importantly, recognizing the power of hard work. But his ambitions didn't stop at the doorsteps of his neighbors. The world of finance beckoned him.
I went into business very early. I started selling Coca-Cola door to door. I sold gum door to door, or sold Saturday Evening Post, Liberty Magazine, Ladies Home Journal, you name it. I think I enjoyed the game almost right from the start. But I like being my own boss. That's one thing I liked about delivering papers. I could arrange the route I wanted. Nobody was bothering me at 5 or 6 in the morning. I was delivering 500 papers a day, and I made a penny a paper, but in terms of compounding, that penny turned into something else.
And at the tender age of 11, he made his first foray into the stock market. Yes, you heard it right, 11. While most kids were trading baseball cards, Buffett was trading stocks. He purchased shares in a company called Cities Service, an investment that would not only yield a profit, but also instill in him a lifelong lesson about patience and timing in the stock market. Even in these early years, Buffett was not just a passive player in the world of finance. He was an observer, a learner, absorbing the ebbs and flows of the market, understanding the value of companies, and laying the groundwork for what would become his signature investment strategy. His childhood was not just about making money, but about understanding its value, its power, and its potential. It was a time of learning, experimenting, and laying the foundation for what was to come. And what was to come, well, that's a story for another time.
In the nation, the only permanent way to prosperity is a balanced budget. Unless that goal is achieved, all post-war plans will collapse like Hitler's conquest.
You have heard Congressman Howard L. H. Buffett, Republican member of the House of Representatives from Nebraska, speaking
When I was about 12 or 13, we moved to Washington, my family, and I was mad. I was having fun in Omaha. I lost all my friends, and now I moved to a town where they were all strange. So I was very, very unhappy. When I was at the low point, I decided that I would run away. So I talked 2 other guys into running away with me. We went out and we started hitchhiking. And then we got picked up by the highway patrol. And That scared the hell out of us. It's very interesting. My dad never really gave me help about doing this, but he finally said, he said, you can do better than this. And just saying that, I felt I was letting him down, basically. So in all ways, he was teaching me. He never taught by telling me things. He just taught by example. He had unlimited confidence in me, even when I screwed up. And that takes you a long, long way. The best gift I was ever given was to have the father that I had when I was born.
Even at a young age, Buffett's entrepreneurial spirit and keen interest in finance were evident. These early experiences, while seemingly simple, played a pivotal role in shaping the man who would one day be known as the Oracle of Omaha. So, how did Warren Buffett transition from a young businessman to a titan of industry? Our journey takes us to the University of Pennsylvania, where Buffett's intellectual curiosity led him to the Wharton School of Business. An eager student, he devoured the principles of economics and finance. But it was at Columbia Business School where he would meet his mentor, Benjamin Graham.
Sure, he was a natural, and he drew us all in.
Our Wall Street professionals are more accurate in the shorter term than the long-term forecast.
Well, our studies indicate that you have your choice between tossing coins and taking the consensus of expert opinion. And the results are just about the same in each case.
It was like learning baseball from a fellow who was batting 400. It shaped my professional life.
Graham, often referred to as the father of value investing, introduced Buffett to the concept of buying stocks at prices significantly below their intrinsic value. This philosophy resonated deeply with Buffett. He embraced it wholeheartedly, molding it into his own unique investment approach.
Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1.
Under Graham's tutelage, Buffett learned to look beyond the numbers on a balance sheet. He became adept at identifying companies with strong leadership, robust business models, and the potential for long-term growth. It was not about quick wins for Buffett, rather he sought out investments that would yield substantial returns over time, much like planting seeds and patiently waiting for them to grow into sturdy trees. This approach required a keen understanding of market dynamics and an unshakable faith in his own judgments. Buffett was not swayed by market trends or popular opinion. He held firm in his convictions, even in the face of skepticism and doubt. This resilience and faith in his investment strategy were cornerstones of his success. Imagine a young man, fresh out of business school, armed with an Ivy League education and a refined investment strategy. He was not just a businessman, but a visionary, ready to challenge the status quo and carve his own path in the world of finance and investing. With an unyielding belief in his approach, Buffett was prepared to navigate the complex and often tumultuous landscape of the financial market. He was no longer just a student of business, he was ready to become a master of it. Armed with an Ivy League education and a refined investment strategy, Buffett was ready to make his mark on the world. Ever heard of Berkshire Hathaway? Well, this is the conglomerate that propelled Buffett into the stratosphere of financial success. In the mid-1960s, Warren Buffett began to acquire shares in Berkshire Hathaway, a textile manufacturing firm. However, Buffett's sights were set beyond the textile industry. He saw the potential to transform Berkshire Hathaway into a holding company, a vehicle for making diversified investments. And so, he did just that. Berkshire Hathaway, under Buffett's leadership, began to acquire stakes in various businesses. Some of these investments turned out to be absolute game changers. Case in point, Coca-Cola. In the late 1980s, Buffett bought a significant stake in the beverage giant. This investment has since ballooned in value, contributing to Berkshire Hathaway's impressive portfolio. Fast forward to the 21st century, Buffett's strategic brilliance shone again with a game-changing investment in Apple. Despite initially being skeptical about technology companies, Buffett recognized the enduring value of Apple's brand and its loyal customer base. Today, this investment represents one of the largest holdings in Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio. But it's not just about the companies Buffett invests in, it's about his investment philosophy. Buffett is a firm believer in the principles of value investing, a strategy that involves buying stocks that appear underpriced by some form of fundamental analysis. He focuses on the long term, often holding onto stocks for many years, even decades. Moreover, Buffett's approach to business is marked by an emphasis on strong leadership, ethical practices, and a commitment to delivering value to shareholders. He's not just about making money, he's about making a difference, and make a difference he certainly has. Through Berkshire Hathaway, Buffett has not only created enormous wealth, but also transformed numerous businesses, impacting countless lives along the way. With Berkshire Hathaway, Buffett has built an empire that stands as a testament to his strategic brilliance and visionary leadership. So, how did Buffett navigate the turbulent waters of the 2007-08 financial crisis? There's a saying amongst sailors, "Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor." And this rings true for the Oracle of Omaha during the financial maelstrom of 2007-08. As many panicked and fled from the storm, Buffett remained steadfast, demonstrating an unwavering resilience that has become a hallmark of his character. In the midst of the crisis, while others were selling, Buffett was buying. He saw the crisis not as a disaster, but as an opportunity. An opportunity to buy shares at bargain prices. He invested billions in companies such as Goldman Sachs and General Electric, essentially providing them with a lifeline at a time when many other investors were jumping ship. But his actions did not stop at investing. Buffett took it upon himself to communicate with the public, providing reassurance in a time of great uncertainty. In October 2008, he penned an op-ed in the New York Times, where he advised investors to be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. His words echoed his actions, demonstrating his commitment to a long-term perspective, even in the face of adversity. Buffett's response to the crisis was not merely a tactical maneuver, but a testament to his strategic brilliance. He recognized that the storm was temporary, and that the fundamentals of the companies he invested in were strong. He understood that in the long run, these companies would recover and thrive, and he was right. In the years following the crisis, the value of his investment soared, proving once again his uncanny ability to see through the fog of panic and make strategic decisions that pay off in the long run. Even in the face of unprecedented economic turmoil, Buffett's steady hand and strategic vision prevailed. His ability to weather the storm, to remain calm and collected in the face of adversity, is a testament to his resilience, his wisdom, and his unparalleled business acumen. But Warren Buffett isn't just a business magnate, he is also a dedicated philanthropist. Indeed, his dedication to philanthropy is as profound as his business acumen. With a heart as vast as his wealth, Buffett has committed to giving away a staggering 99% of his fortune. That's right, 99%. It's a pledge that takes philanthropy to a whole new level, reflecting Buffett's deep-seated belief in the power of giving to effect meaningful change. This commitment led him to co-found the Giving Pledge in 2010 alongside Bill Gates. The Giving Pledge isn't merely an initiative, it's a call to arms for billionaires worldwide. The goal? To encourage those who have reaped the greatest financial rewards to give the majority of their wealth to philanthropic causes. Buffett's philanthropy isn't an afterthought or a side project, it's a core part of who he is. And it's not just about money, it's about investing in humanity, in our collective future. It's about using his resources, his influence, and his strategic brilliance to make a positive impact on the world. This philanthropic spirit is deeply entwined with his business philosophy. Buffett's approach to giving is mirrored in his approach to investing. He seeks out underfunded, overlooked causes that have the potential to make a significant impact, just as he seeks out undervalued companies with potential for growth. And let's not forget that Buffett's philanthropy extends to his commitment to financial education. His insights, his wisdom, his principles, they're all shared freely with the world. He understands that the greatest investment we can make is in each other, in our knowledge and understanding. His philanthropy is a testament to his character, his values, and his vision for a better world. It's a reminder that true success isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about the difference you make in the lives of others. In his philanthropy, as in his business ventures, Buffett has shown a remarkable commitment to improving the world. Indeed, Warren Buffett isn't just a business magnate or a financial wizard. He's a beacon of hope, a symbol of what's possible when wealth and wisdom are harnessed for the greater good.
I would like to just tell you a couple of short stories, and we'll draw maybe a couple of lessons from them. I would like to tell you of two women that each sold a business to Berkshire Hathaway, to me actually, for many, many, many millions of dollars. Both of them started with $2,500. By a coincidence, it was the exact same amount. It was everything they had in the world. And one of them was a woman who landed in Seattle in 1917, couldn't speak a word of English, had a tag around her neck. The tag said, Fort Dodge, Iowa. The Red Cross got her to Fort Dodge, where she was reunited with her husband who had come to the country a couple of years earlier. And she lived in Fort Dodge for 2 years. And as she put it, she felt like a dummy. She couldn't pick up the language. She couldn't learn a word. And so she and her husband decided to move to Omaha. So they came to Omaha in 1919. And there she found a small colony of Russian Jews, so she started feeling more at home. And then as her oldest daughter went to school, she would come home, this daughter, Frances, and she would teach her mother the words she'd learned in school that day. And this woman, Rose Blumkin, spent 20 years saving money, bringing first her siblings over, her mother and father, $50 at a time. She sold used clothing to do it. She had 4 children during this period. And by 1937, after 20 years, she'd saved $2,500. She went to Chicago and she bought what she could of furniture. Her dream had always been to open a furniture store. And this woman who had never gone to school one day in her life, with $2,500, but with the same spirit that the people in this room had about having a dream and working to accomplish that dream, she built a business which she sold to me in 1983 for $60 million approximately, and which did $1.5 billion worth of business last year. The 4th generation is working in that business. This woman, Rose Blumkin, she worked for me until she was 103. And then she retired and she died the next year, which is a lesson to all of Berkshire's managers that premature retirement, you can't tell what's going to happen.